Mohaj.
And I'm John
With
Matthews.
Season 7 of GBTV's The Gameclock. Today is January 13th as this recording is happening, so all sports may not be up to date. In your varsity news, we would like to invite our very own Max DeCapua to make an appearance on our camera for hitting 200 wins and being the 7th wrestler in Section 9 history to do it. So Max, please say hi to the camera and congratulations. And your MLB, NBA, and NFL news. The Colorado Rockies and St. Louis Cardinals were discussing a trade that would send star third baseman Nolan Arenado to the Cardinals. This is an interesting trade, to say the least, because he wants out of Colorado. They've been a very underachieving team. They had hope,
Yeah.
but they've never made the playoffs in a very long time. And even with that one team that was like 30 games
they had
above,
those glory years for Colorado Rocky standards, but like in the early 2010s, when they had a Cy Young pitcher, Waldo Jimenez, but since then they really haven't found their grounding yet, and I think they're just trying to get a fresh start. Nolan Arenado has been one of the lone bright spots for the team, but it's time to move on.
yeah, the All-Star and Gold Glover finally will hopefully get a new home, but we'll see where that ends up. In your NBA news, Kyrie Irving returned from a shoulder injury, and he played all right. But, I mean, the Nets team was doing so much better without Kyrie Irving, so it makes you think, and especially with how the Celtics have been doing too, is Kyrie really the problem with that team?
Well, I mean, I don't know if he was the problem to begin with because he was out for some time and they were losing games, so how could he be the problem? But, I mean, he is a very high ego, he's a high personality, so I guess we're just going to have to see how they mesh moving forward. And, well, there is some footage of Kevin Durant putting some shots up and getting some athletic plays up, so maybe come playoff time, could have another superstar, all-star player on the team. We'll see.
Yeah, I forgot that the Nets actually had Kevin Durant on the team, to be honest with you. And when he comes back next year, the Nets will probably be even better than what they are. Like, the thing about the Nets is they have a lot of shooters and they have a lot of talent that comes off the bench with, like, Chris LeVert, even though he starts now, but Dinwiddie and all of them. Like, they all play very well together, but the Celtics have definitely been improving 10 times better since they departed from Kyrie Irving and they took in someone like Kemba Walker. And that's what makes Kemba Walker, even though Kyrie Irving is more talented than Kemba Walker, Kemba Walker has more of that point guard feel to him. Like, he's always willing to pass the ball. Like, he wants to create shots and get players open. He takes the big shots when you need him to. Like, that's the difference between him and Kyrie.
I'd say the main difference would probably be definitely like what you said, but you know, Kyrie Irving he's a me guy at the end of the day, and he really likes to get his stats up, and he's more of a, you know, I want to get my stats up and worry about myself, where Kemba Walker, while he does play the same sort of skill set, and they do have the same skill set, Kemba Walker is more of a leader, and I think that's where he differentiates from Kyrie, where like Kemba really took this team and he's leading them, where Kyrie was more of a me guy, worry about myself.
Yeah, and that's what's awesome, and I'm sure Brad Stevens is very happy.
Yeah, Brad Stevens is a great coach. He'll make do with whoever he has, and he has been for however long now.
In your NFL news, called it. The Titans upset the Ravens on Saturday Night Football, and the whole world was shocked except for me. The Titans are super red hot.
I wouldn't go that far, but
I don't know. The Titans are red hot. And I said it at the beginning when they were entering the playoffs, when they finished with a 9-7 record, that they were going to make a run similar to the New York Giants when they did it back in 2007 with the 9-7 record. It's all about peaking at the right time in the NFL playoffs, and if you could do that, you can win a lot of games. The Ravens were a little bit rusty coming out after 3 weeks of rest, which you should never do. You should never rest your starters for more than 1 to 2 weeks at most. And it backfired. It was similar to the 2016 Dallas Cowboys when they rested their starters for 3 weeks and they came out looking sluggish. And same with the Chiefs. They rested their starters, but unlike the Ravens, the Chiefs were able to come back after being down 24-0 against the Texans.
Yeah, I feel like the Titans were the team that everyone decided that if they were to make it, they could definitely cause some trouble for whoever they played, and that's just what they did. You know, they have so far they've beaten 3 division champions in a row, and I don't think that they plan on stopping. So I think it's interesting to see how the rest of this NFL season will formulate and play out, where I just think the Titans, they were saving their best play for the most important time, and I think that's exactly what you're supposed to do, and they're just red hot right now moving forward. But as far as the Kansas City Chiefs, they got off to a really, really slow start, but they just picked it up. And once that Kansas City offense picks it up, there's literally not many. I don't think there's any team in the NFL that can stop them.
That's the thing about the Chiefs. Compared to every other offense in the NFL, Patrick Mahomes could lead a team to score 3 touchdowns in less than 10 minutes.
Yeah,
and
the Chiefs can score like that.
Yeah, the Chiefs could score in less than 3 plays. Like, that's unheard of. Like, they're ridiculous. And there's a lot of props that go to Andy Reid and Eric Blimey for all of that.
You can blink and the Chiefs will come back from down 24.
I wanted to go back to the Titans real quick with their whole game plan against the Ravens. So it's simple. And this is exactly what they did against the Patriots, and this is why I believe they'll go to the Super Bowl, is that all you have to do is just give the ball to Derrick Henry, and he makes great things work. Like, he absolutely denies the analytic department, and the analytic department is in shambles right now because it states that, oh, you got to do this, this, and that, but it goes to show that sometimes just a physical downhill runner like Derrick Henry can make the plays needed. You don't need Ryan Tannehill to throw the ball 15 or 20 times a game. You need him to be a game manager, make some big throws. You obviously saw that 45-yard bomb.
I definitely think what it really is just he's 6'4", he's 230, all muscle. When he gets outside, he averages 6.4 yards per carry on outside runs, and that's mainly because which defensive back can tackle a 6'4", 230-pound man by himself?
Jamal Adams. Maybe him.
Where is he right now?
Sitting at home on the couch.
And also, Derrick Henry's, he just excels towards the end of the game, whereas, having to tackle a 6'4" guy every single play of the game, you're going to get tired towards the fourth quarter, and that's when Derrick Henry plays his best football.
Yeah, that's what's so great about those physical backs who are so much bigger than everyone else. They don't get tired. They have the stamina to last, and then eventually when you get to they get better. Those are the type of running backs I like. They get better as the game goes on. And the Titans defense deserves a lot of props too.
Yeah, they deserve probably the most credit.
2 interceptions against Lamar Jackson, who only threw 6 this season, but one of them was not Lamar Jackson's fault, and a fumble, and they just shut down the Ravens. Like, they didn't allow them to get a 4th down conversion, and they denied the 2-point conversion. So, props to Mike Varvel for making this Titans team really good. I mean, they finished 3 years in a row with a 9-7 record, but they couldn't get it done with Mariota. But it seems like they finally found their guy.
They found their quarterback. But as far as the late window game last night, the Packers proved that their offense can score on almost anybody in the NFL, but they did have a little bit of help from the refs. As usual, Aaron Rodgers will always. It's that all-star, all-pro quarterback. You're going to get a lot of the calls, and you're going to get a lot of things going your way.
Yeah, no, there's actually a stat, believe it or not, that shows the most people with penalties that go for and against them, and the team that has the most penalties for them is actually the Pittsburgh Steelers, but right behind second place by 0.2 of a margin is the Green Bay Packers, and I think that goes to show because they're 2 of the oldest franchises in the NFL. They have a lot of fans, and they also bring a lot of revenue to the NFL, and it makes sense. You obviously want to have a big market team and the thing, but man, Jimmy Graham was short. Dez caught it, and Jimmy Graham was short.
Yeah, and Seattle definitely, they got punched in the mouth early on, but they definitely found their groove moving forward, and they definitely made it a close game towards the end of the game, and it didn't fall their way. They got a very questionable call. I hate to see a game end like that, especially in the playoffs, but what are you going to do? You can't change it.
Yeah, and then the earlier window game on Saturday was an absolute blowout. I mean, at first it was close for the first 10 minutes, but then after that, Richard Sherman and the 49ers defense just absolutely dominated the Minnesota Vikings.
The Vikings couldn't find their rhythm against a very strong defense where you can't really decide which part of the 49ers defense is their weak spot, where it's definitely not their front line, that's for sure.
No way. I think probably their weakest part is their left side with Witherspoon as their cornerback. He obviously got burnt by Stephon Diggs, but then after
that's Stephon Diggs too.
I don't know. Stephon Diggs got shut down after that. Only 2 catches for 50 yards, with one of them coming on a chunk play for the 41-yard touchdown.
Stephon Diggs is notorious for burning people, though.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins obviously reverted back.
It's Kirk Cousins, you never know what you're going to get with Kirk Cousins. He could play at Pro Bowl caliber, but a majority of the time he's going to play. I feel like he doesn't have the mindset to really be a a Super Bowl winning quarterback in the NFL.
And it's crazy to think because it was a 1 o'clock slated time game. So, you know, Kirk Cousins obviously is historically amazing when he plays at 1 o'clock games, but it was a 4 o'clock on the Eastern Standard Time Zone. So maybe he just thought about that.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out too much. But the NFC and the AFC Championship are set for Sunday. The Chiefs will play the Titans, and the Packers will play the 49ers. I have the 49ers and the Titans going to the Super Bowl after originally having the Seahawks and the Titans going to the Super Bowl. But I believe that they have what it takes to play each other, and I have the Titans winning it
Yeah,
all
I
in
had
Miami.
the Vikings and Titans, but I'm going to switch it with the 49ers.
The last time the Packers and the 49ers matched up was Week 8 this season, and they got blown out 38-8. So I don't really trust Aaron Rodgers in that situation. As great as he's been, it's been a lot more with the whole scheme that they've set up with Coach Matt LaFleur. Obviously, that's great for a 40-year-old rookie head coach to take his teams to the NFC Championship, but I don't think he gets it done, especially with Kyle Shanahan and Robert Saleh with this whole dominant 49ers team that really is just
Yeah,
been
I think
amazing.
they're the hottest team right now between them and the Titans, and I think that they're both going to ride the momentum into this game, and I just feel like whoever can get out there, like both those two teams, their game plans really depend on getting out and getting ahead early, and I feel like if they can both accomplish that, there's no way they lose.
And that's like something similar too with the Ravens, is that the Ravens were so used to playing with the lead to begin with that
they got hit hard right off the bat and they couldn't recover.
Yeah, and then like you could obviously see it in the play calls. Like Lamar Jackson threw the ball 51 times, almost 60 times.
I think
and, like,
that's the difference between Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, where Patrick Mahomes they got hit hard right off the bat, and they calmed down, they didn't panic, and they came back. And I feel like if there's any quarterback that you want in that position to come back from down 24, it's definitely Patrick Mahomes. I think he's by far the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, by a long shot. He's definitely going to be the next Tom Brady when it comes to like who's like that face of the NFL and who's.
Hopefully.
Anyway, and your college football news. Tonight's the night. LSU and Clemson will finally play for the national title. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Simple as that. I believe in Joe Burrow. I believe in Coach O. They have a great defense. They have a great offense, and they're going to definitely stop Trevor Lawrence. I know.
I don't know. I just feel like this game is probably going to be one of the greatest college football championships of all time, and that's what it's looking to be. You know, both teams have star power on both sides. They probably have NFL level star power on both sides of the ball. And no matter which way you slice it, I feel like I really hope it's going to go down to the wire, and I really do feel like it's going to be a great football game.
You know, obviously the number one overall pick is going to be Joe Burrow, so we'll see if he can live up to this sort of expectation. But anyway, I'm Sam Ohaj.
And I'm John Matthews.
This is the Game Clock.
Go Tigers.